What happened, bro? We were so wrong with our prediction, bro. We both said T-Wolves and like 6 or 7 based on how they were playing, because it was like great, and they just shocked the world with their performance. And I ain't gonna lie, bro, the last game 6, I was watching the game, I cut it off by like second quarter or something like that. I was like, y'all ain't showed the play, I ain't watching it, so I turned it off, bro. I went on about my business. But what went wrong with the Timberwolves, man?
I'm just gonna say it. We try our best to respect this dude every year, and every year he just goes back on everything that is defense and becomes the most vulnerable deer in headlights I've ever seen. Rudy Gobert is a defensive liability, yet he's the defensive player of the year. And I'm like, all right, to be fair, a lot went wrong for the Timberwolves, right? Not just Rudy, but it's so blatantly being seen on the biggest stage that Rudy Gobert cannot be on the floor because he can't defend almost anybody in the playoffs. I don't know. It's like defensive player of the year, I'm gonna block 4 shots a game. Playoffs, no blocks. Put in blender. I can't stay in front of him. And I promise you, I'm not trying to make fun of this man. He's a professional and he's very good. He's a professional basketball player, but for some reason, the defense, or when he wins defensive player of the year, like that is like his defense for the year. And the playoffs, it's just like brand new, starting from scratch defense. I don't know, bro. And on the other side, Anthony Edwards, he was fatigued. We could tell that from probably like the game 7 in Denver. He was fatigued. Cat, I honestly have nothing bad to say about Cat. I think he played well. I'm glad he was going to the basket. I'm glad he was at least attacking. Someone was. Jaden McDaniels, he was solid. He just kind of like faded away after, I guess, that 3rd or 4th game. Like, he just wasn't really effective. Naz Reid didn't have like a big performance off the bench. Overall, man, I think they just kind of struggled offensively, and then no one could stop Luka and Kyrie in pick and roll situations. It was like Luka gets the matchup with Rudy Gobert, barbecue chicken. Gobert couldn't get back to defend the rim, so Gaffer dunk. And the rebounding, they gave up too many offensive rebounds to me in one of those games. I was just like, bro, are y'all trying? Like, does anyone want to box out today? It was bad, bro. I just overall think that the Timberwolves, with like being kind of fatigued, they didn't have a lot of offense to offer. They looked kind of stagnant. And on the other side, that pick and roll was just a monster. And Rudy Gobert really got the bad side of everything because we saw what happened. So that's what I'll say, bro. It was bad.
Yeah. I'm trying to keep it brief, bro. Like you said, man, we tried. And we gave him props when he did well. It's just, you are the defensive player of the year, bro. I've never seen, I can't think of this ever, bro. If you win the defensive player of the year, you have no impact whatsoever in the playoffs. Like, I'm not saying, of course he has some type of impact, but defensive player of the year, you're more than a help defender. that's really what you are. That's really what he was in this series, bro. Last series too, it just worked out better for him. Like it
Honestly.
really did. So
Yeah.
you're telling me I need Cat to be the main? Like no, sir. It just sucks because we can't do anything about it. He literally is a 4-time Defensive Player of the Year, Hall of Fame worthy. Just those credentials alone make it Hall of Fame worthy. And with those credentials alone, you gotta put him up there with the best defenders of all time. 4 of them. But I don't know, man. That's another conversation for another day. You got the longest wingspan. You can't stop one lob. I'm serious, bro. You can't stop one lob.
Yeah.
You got that, and then just man, I can go all day about Rudy Gobert. I'm gonna leave it alone. But alright, Cat, he did take too many jumpers. He corrected it. He went inside. He was efficient. Going to the series, I thought the Timberwolves had more depth, but the Mavericks showed us differently. I think a lot more now of the Mavericks' depth now because of what happened in this series. I agree with what you said. Anthony Edwards was a little bit fatigued. He talked about it post game, like he knows how to prepare and train to make a long run like this. I believe we may see them back here again. Maybe we'll see. The West is tough, and it shows in what's going on. The Mavericks, this is one of the toughest playoff runs in NBA history against these 50-win teams in the playoffs. So shout out to what they're doing. That just further proves that they're a real deal. Clearly they are in the finals, but just their path.
Yeah. They're
battle tested for real. Going through MVP candidate and Shea, and then going through what people are saying like the second Jordan and Anthony Edwards, but and the Defensive Player of the Year going against him, and just doing their thing. It's all about matchups because I believe if they play the Nuggets would have handled the Mavericks. It's all about matchups to me. The Timberwolves were matched up well to handle the Nuggets, but they weren't matched up well to handle the Mavericks. But they just weren't. And in this offseason, y'all got to figure out what y'all want to do contract-wise, money-wise. Rudy Gobert, for example, what you want to do with that, because that's a lot of money. You gave up a lot of assets for him. I don't know you get as many assets back if you do want to trade. They clearly have enough. It's maybe stylistically you have to change some things. Each individual, what can you do to get better for me as his team? I know Anthony Edwards will put the work in. He'll get better. Full faith in him. The next person to me that needs to step up is Cat. Develop more of a post game for us, man. Just get what you want down below, because we know you can shoot. We need more from you. But if you don't have him down low, what does that mean for Rudy Gobert? So, like, Rudy, you did some crazy shots. Can you give me anything like that on offense at all, consistently? I don't know if you can give me a turnaround, 1 foot fade, whatever you did in that game. But can you give me some sort of offense so I can keep you on the floor? Like, otherwise, I don't know, bro. Just that's my thing. They just gotta get better. I believe they can be back here, but I was so disappointed. In that last game, it's just like the motivation was just not to get swept, and not to just weren't swept. It was like that was it. So that's why I literally turned the game off. I was like, I do not care what happens after this. I'm pretty sure the Mavericks got it, just because how they came out in the first quarter. I can tell. It was just one of those games. It's a disappointment. So that's my thoughts, bro.
Yeah, most definitely, man. That game 5, like you said, and I think that the Inside NBA guys alluded to this too, was that the energy for the Mavs was what the Timberwolves should have had. They had no sense of urgency. They didn't really have any plan besides let's not get swept. So that was it. That was like game 4 was like, this is what we got. All right, we're just gonna go home and lose. Like, yeah, they didn't have the energy, and yeah, man, was disappointed how it ended because they had such a phenomenal run. And like you said, we've been just watching Anthony Edwards emerge, and he just ran out of gas. And I was like, dang, bro, I get it, but also you got to work a little harder, and he knows that. So I agree with you. I think they'll be back. But if I was them, and this is just me, not a personal dig, I'm looking at another option besides Rudy Gay. I mean, not Rudy Gay, Rudy Gobert. Because I don't want to see that again. If he is in Defensive Player of the Year consideration after this, I want to pull basketball credentials. I know, like Kendrick Perkins said, he's ashamed that he used his vote to vote for Rudy, and I hope that's a shared sentiment from whoever else voted for Rudy. No disrespect to Rudy, but bro, come on. Every year you do this. Like, for some reason, we just thought this year is gonna be different, and here you are, just making us look foolish again. It's fine. I'm done.
But some of that goes on the coaches, though. Why would you switch? And why was he in the game of that? You know what I'm thinking about, right? The Luka game winner.
Yep.
Had that boy on skates. Like, God.
It's kind of weird because it's like in that situation, if Luka, if they happen to not switch, right, and Luka has McDaniels on him, who should have been on him, then you want Rudy there to like potentially protect the rim, but he still wasn't doing that. So it's like, yeah, he I don't know his position on the floor is at this point, because it's like, dang, you want the Defensive Player of the Year to be there to at least rim protect, but yeah, bro, I'm done with it.
Because you remember the best defensive game was when he was actually not playing, and then went small ball in the whole playoffs. That was like the best defensive performance we've seen in a long time.
I was thinking that too, bro. Like they had throughout the playoffs, they had some good stretches when he was not on the floor, and that says a lot. And I just, it's so frustrating, bro. It's so frustrating. I feel like the Timberwolves, I'm not even a Timberwolves fan per se, but I was very much like, oh, I'm enjoying this Anthony Edwards hype train. I'm like, all right, I'm rolling with these guys, and for it to be that being like the face of this whole series is just baffling, bro. But I think they'll be back.
And Pat needs to get back to basics to me. Be disciplined. He got in foul trouble too much, bro. Too much foul trouble. Get back to basics. Get that back over to snuff and be more disciplined. That's what I'm saying. The next step would have a cat to me. And then I agree. You can do a trade, but at the same time, you got so much for him. I don't think you can just necessarily, because I feel like, again, they built that team to counter the Nuggets, and it worked out perfectly. But clearly, you need to do some more work, because the Nuggets aren't not just the creme de la creme of the Western Conference anymore. At least not right now. I feel like they are still good future contenders for sure, but you got to figure out something else too. Rudy, it's tough.
It's tough. It's very tough. But you gotta figure something out. I don't know if it's at this point your lateral quickness, if you can like improve or not. You need to do some lateral lounges with your workouts. I don't know, bro, but
at this point he is who he is.
Yeah.
There's no more development, I think. I hate to say this, bro. This is literally it, bro. He's the best player of the year just because he's tall and he got the length for it. I feel like he got the physical attributes, but it's just and I feel like if Rudy had a different attitude too, he'll be more. It's just like, I don't see it, man. I don't see the want to. I don't see it, man. The eye test is not showing it to me. Stats wise, yes, that's why he won. The stats look great. The eye test, man, it's like, yo, no.
Well, one player who I think was thinking they should have deserved it more, or probably was in the running, is going to beat him next year for sure. And that's the generational talent in Wembanyama. Wemby's coming, so I don't think we're gonna have to worry about Rudy being defensive player of the year for another turn. I think this was his last one.
Unless he changes the narrative about himself somehow, then that's it.
We'll see. But like you said, I think the table is turned for him, bro. I think there's no more development. And unless you just have a drastic offseason change, yeah. You've now certified yourself on my not it players list. So thank you, Rudy. Oh, bro. It's so disappointing.